Hello friends, welcome to our channel Tech Diffusion. So today we will discuss about some top 7 uh, framework of our software development backend part. Okay, framework is very important in our development. Without a framework, we can't do any development. Right now is the present condition. Okay, so the framework is very important thing in backend development. So not taking lot of time for that, and let's discuss the top 7 backend framework for our back development. Okay, so let me open this. Okay, as I told you everyone, like the top 7 framework for the backend development. So that is the first one is Django. Django is one of the famous backend development framework which is developed in their Python language, and it was released in the 2005, and that is open source for and a high level framework that is scalable and customizable, contains everything developer may require, all of the web and backend related work in the web, and that is used for the Django. Django is very good presently as a scenario. If we are talking about that, most of the person are continuously switching to Django. Okay, so if we are talking about the most famous user of that Django, that is Google, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Pinterest, Dropbox, Mozilla, and National Geography. These are the most persons. If we are talking about the most famous companies, they are using the Django in their development side. If we are talking about features of Django, then not taking like that, secure authentication, batteries included, support of middleware, SEO optimized. Like SEO optimized, I think everyone is know about now. Search engine optimization is very important in the website, right? And the huge community that now is the community day by day increase of Django, so you can get easily some support related to that and easy integration with the third party applications. So this is the one of that famous framework which we talk. So let me go to the next one. Next one is related to Laravel. Laravel also one of the most famous uh, backend framework which is developed in the PHP. Okay, and that is most of the support related to like PHP. Someone is doing that work, then it's a good for they will and they are switching into that Laravel. And it was released in the 2011, which is totally based on MVC architecture, model view architecture that is, and it consists of extensive libraries and API support, also the initiative interfaces, and it is mainly responsible for the building blocks, e-commerce website, and news. So the Laravel is used for that most of that who are user that blog and e-commerce website and news. Okay, some of the famous company if we are talking about that Laravel, that is 9gag, Pfizer, and CrowdCube, and Razorpay. I think that everyone know about that Razorpay. Razorpay is our payment company, like similar kind of phone pay is providing the support to Razorpay. And if you are talking about, there are Paytm as well as and whenever we are going to book an IRCTC ticket, then we can see that thing Razorpay over there. Bharat Pay is also same kind of things. Okay, and the feature, if you are talking about that feature of Laravel, that is Laravel is providing open CLI, and it can integrate with lots of database like MySQL, SQL Server, SQLite, and Postgres. Migration of database in a easy very in that Laravel, simple API and template engine. So these are the basic features of Laravel. So the next one we have Express. Express is one of that also the backend development related framework which is developed in the 2010, and that is totally developed in the Node.js web application framework which is written in the JavaScript, support to REST API applications. Some of the persons is doing that REST API application as well as, so that is support related. We this develop that Express one of that backend framework. If you are talking about some thing about that, it is a fast, it is unopinionated, minimalist, and backend part of that mean and merge stack used to building interactive mobile and web applications. We are talking about the companies of that Express, they are which is using, that is a very huge companies like Accenture, PayPal, Twitter, Mintra, Uber, IBM use the Express to their backend development. If you are talking about features of Express, that is the also very good features like routing, middleware, debugging, plugin support, extensive template, HTTP utility methods. So these are the basic features of Express as well as. And let me go to the next one, that is Spring Boot. I think that a Spring Boot now is a everyone is using that Spring Boot and Hibernate. These are the some of the famous backend framework. But let me talk to that why that Spring Boot, the Spring Boot must famous compared to their others. So Spring Boot is one of that framework which is released in the 2014, that is also open source and lightweighted, and that is a Java based application. Like whoever want to develop in the Java website, that they can use the Spring Boot. Spring Boot is very good to use that. It is used to creating standalone application. It contains Spring Core container, which is a module providing the container. If you are talking about that company of the same, then Spring Boot are the Google, Microsoft, Udemy, Amazon, Trivago and Amazon. I think everyone is using that. Microsoft, Google, everyone know about that company. And if you are talking about the feature, then feature is a very simple API dependency management. They are holding avoids complex configuration of XML and microservices. So these are the basic features of Spring Boot. And let me go to the next one. Next one is a Ruby and Rails. Ruby Rails is another some of the famous framework which is developed in the 2004. Still, it's very good running and very good if someone is user. And it is released in 2004. It's an open source and server side framework written in the Ruby language. Okay, it is offer you default structure of web services, follows MVC architecture. If you are talking about the companies of Ruby Rails, that is our GitHub, Shopify, Netflix, Airbnb, and Crunchbase. These are the some of the famous companies who are use that Ruby Rails frameworks. Feature, if you are talking about that Ruby Rails, that is a very also good features about that Ruby Rails. I'm taking only that like that features like which is good to understandable everyone. Okay, and the like good community support. If you are talking about the support, like every development when we are starting that support from that Google, like whenever we are trying to find that user, that is very needed. Okay, so that good support of that reliable and high quality, simple testing, scaffolding, folding factor as well, and localization. These are the some famous features of Ruby on Rails. Let me go to the next one, that is Flash. Flash is also one of that famous a famous framework which is also developed in Python to support that Python applications. Like before that, if you are talking about a Django, that before that Flask is more of the users. Nowadays, Flask is going down, but that whenever that someone is started their work, means the backend related work, that always support like to go to that Flask, because Flask is easy to compare to Django. So that whenever the new student is come to learn that and backend time, that is a good to learn that Flash. So Flash is one of that framework which is robust related, and it is a very simple to work and beginner friendly framework, as I already told you, that is student friendly as well as, and that does not contain kind of dependency, making it easy and implemented. We are talking about the user than LinkedIn, Pinterest. I means anyone can understand the name of that companies like Pinterest, right? Pinterest and that LinkedIn, these are the famous companies. And if you're talking about the feature of that Flask, that is Unicad, backend development server, rapid development, minimalistic, and good documentation. Like always, like whenever you start the development, the documentation is also required. Similar kind of support, like whenever we are talking about support like previously, and that similar kind of documentation is also required for that, so that for the class you will get a easily good documentation about that. Let's talk to the last and not the least, that is ASP.NET. I think everyone know about now that days ASP.NET, that ASP.NET is active server pages. So this is also very good backend framework which is developed by Microsoft actually, and in the 2002 it is open source and free framework written in the C Sharp. Okay, that is developed by Microsoft, but it's written in the C Sharp. It is a modular framework and that runs in the ASP.NET framework across the Windows. Windows, it's our very daily life thing though, so that ASP.NET easily can run on that. We are talking about the users of that ASP.NET, the backend framework who are using that Slack, SpaceX. SpaceX is one of the most famous company, which is like if you are talking about that the person like there are so many person. Alibaba also one of the famous companies. Mastercard, like every card, like whenever like our we are talking about, that means that card is like either Mastercard, Visa, like that. They are the user of their ASP.NET framework, and the feature of ASP.NET are that has minimal version, minimal coding, asynchronous support of the container, various support options for the lifecycle. Even like one of that more feature is also community. Community of that ASP.NET will get easily the huge community of that same. Okay, so this is the end of that video. If you think my video is good and helpful for you, so please like, share, and subscribe my channel. I will create lots of things related to same, like some top 7 languages. The next video I will try to make top 10 jobs of in the worldwide. If you're talking about, then software related jobs, and the package of that jobs. So I will explain that as well as. So if you think my video is good and helpful for you, then please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.